So, welcome to the 2017 Cadaco All-Star Baseball Tournament. It's the third annual tournament. I did it before in 2015 and 2016. We're in the first round. There's 16 teams. This is the first round. The second game, the first game, the Indians beat the Cubs. And now we're in the second matchup between the San Francisco Giants and the Baltimore Orioles. So far, the Orioles in the first two seasons, they had a combined record of 13 and 21. They finished 13th in 2015 and 12th last year in 2016. Where the Giants, they were 11th in 2015, and last year they improved to 5th place. So their combined record over the two seasons is 16 and 9. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but these are the Giants here. Bill Terry at first, and they don't really have a second baseman. But they drafted Greg Nettles to play third, so now we can move Jim Davenport over to second. But last year I had Christy Mathewson, a pitcher, playing second base. So shortstop Hal Lanier. Like I said, Davenport's now second. Greg Nettles is at third. Orlando Cepeda in right, actually playing out of position. He's not really a right fielder. Willie Mays in center, Willie McCovey in left, and Dick Dietz at catching. And today's pitcher will be Christy Mathewson. And for the Baltimore Orioles, Lee May at first base, Davey Johnson at second, Mark Belanger at short, Brooks Robinson is the regular third baseman, although we'll have Don Buford there today. Russ Snyder in right field, Paul Blair in center field, and with Buford at third, we'll have Boog Powell playing left field. Catcher is Elrod Hendricks, and pitcher today will be Dave McNally. So here we go. So you might notice my board is well worn. I got this for Christmas in 1970, and played it for a few years as a kid, and sat in the attic for like 4 decades. And so got it out here a couple of years ago, and started playing these first 3 tournaments. So anyway, we're ready to get started. So the Orioles won the toss, and they'll be the home team. So the San Francisco Giants will be batting first. And leading off for the Giants is Hal Lanier. So Hal, number 4, has a fly ball. So normally when you get a fly ball, a ground ball, or a single, you would spin again and get a defensive spin on the outer ring, but I only do that if there's a runner on base already. So the fact that there's nobody on, I'm not going to bother with that. So the fly ball is just a fly ball, and I do that just to save spins. The game goes faster and get a few less errors. I think there's too many errors when you do the defensive spin anyway. So up now, Bill Terry. Bill batting .367 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs over the first 2 seasons. 5 is a triple. Now, one word, because the camera is centered over the center, sometimes there's a little distortion, and where I might see something on a line to the camera, it might look like it's something else. So I just want to say that doesn't mean I'm blind. It just means the camera angle is just a little bit distorted. So anyway, Bill Terry triple. He gets over to third base. And that brings up Willie Mays. So Willie is batting .400. He's 4th in the league in batting so far. DiMaggio hitting .447, Al Simmons at .434, Billy Williams at .402, and then Willie Mays batting .400. And so Willie also has 6 home runs and 25 RBIs. The runner on third and 1 out. Strikes out. So 2 outs. 2 outs and a runner on third. Brings up Willie McCovey playing left field. I know the card shows him as a first baseman, but Willie played left field quite a bit during his career, and so I got him playing left. He hits a single, so there's a runner on third, so I'm going to spin, single L, runner safe at first, or sorry, batter safe at first, and the runners advance 1. So that scores Bill Terry from third, and William McCovey is on first base. So, and now 2 down. So brings up Greg Nettles. Craig came over in the draft from the Yankees after this last season. He didn't play very much there in New York, and they put him up in the draft. So at the end of each season, each team puts a player into the draft pool, and then they get the teams get to pick based on the worst finishes from the previous year. So anyway. Greg Nettles, this is his first time batting as a San Francisco Giant. Runner on first and 2 outs. And that is 8, a fly ball. So probably the third out. Oh, he is out. So, all right. So the Giants get 1 run. Terry scored. And McCovey got the RBI. Okay. So, McCovey knows. Okay. That brings up Don Buford for the Baltimore Orioles. So, stat sheet out here. So over the first 2 seasons, 2 tournaments, Don Buford hitting .345 with 1 home run and 12 RBIs. 8 is a fly ball. And Don also leading the Orioles with 11 stolen bases in 34 games. So 1 out. That brings up Paul Blair. So Paul hitting .274, 2 home runs and 14 RBIs, and that is a fly ball. And again, I'm not sure what it looks like to the camera. Sometimes they look a little different than I see them, but I'm the umpire. So I got a direct angle. So Russ Snyder, ground ball. So that's 3 up and 3 down. The Baltimore Orioles. No runs, no hits, no errors. Okay. So at the end of 1, San Francisco 1, Baltimore nothing. All right. Top of the 2nd inning. Dick Dietz. So Dick has been hitting a lot of home runs. He's actually leading the Giants in home runs. So he's hitting .333 with 7 homers and 27 RBIs. He had 1 game where he hit 3 home runs last season. And that is on the line. So I have a tie-breaking system when it's on the line. I roll a dice to decide whether that's a 14 or a 10. So if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, I get the lower number. If I roll a 3, 4, or 5, I'll take the higher number. So that's my tie-breaking system. So that's a 4, which means that's a 14, which is a fly ball. Okay, so there's 1 out. Brings up Orlando Cepeda. He's playing right field, and he's not authorized to play right field. That wasn't a position he played significantly in his career. So in my tournament, that means he's playing out of position, and so there's a penalty for playing out of a position, and that is the defensive team can require him to spin again if they don't like what he gets. So if he spins and he gets a hit, for example, which he did, that's a single. So the other team can say spin again, because that's the penalty he pays for playing out of position, because there has to be something. So anyway, he needs to spin again, and so whatever happens on this spin is what he gets, and that's a strikeout. So consequently, his batting average, because he's played right field and out of position a lot, his batting average has suffered. And so Orlando is batting 182 with no home runs and 8 RBIs. So hopefully the Giants can draft a right fielder, then Orlando can play his natural position, which is either first base or left field. That brings up Jim Davenport playing second base now for the Giants. And that's a single. So Jim Davenport on first base. Brings up the pitcher, Christy Mathewson. And like I said earlier, Christy was actually our second baseman for the Giants last year. He's hitting 125, no home runs, and 1 RBI. So again, because he was playing out of position, there's a penalty for that, and he already was a fairly low average hitter, so now he's even lower. But he's playing his normal position now, so no penalty. But that's a ground ball. And he is out. Okay, so top of the second, there were no runs. So bottom of the second, Baltimore Orioles comes Lee May. So Lee May hitting 302 with 3 homers and 21 RBIs. 3. Okay, so now a thing. I treat my 3s as not a fly ball. Normally it's a fly ball, but 3s to me is a special event. And how I handle those is first thing I do is I roll a dice. And it's the 2 white dice I'm looking at. In this case, a 5 and a 5. And I've made this little sheet to decide what happens on a 5 and a 5. In this case, we roll again and use a second chart. So this is my first chart. This is my second chart. So because this is a double, 5, 5, I'm going to roll the dice again. I get a 3 and a 6. And 3, 6 means the opposing pitcher becomes dominant for the number of innings indicated on the third dice, which is 1. Okay, so, and what that means it is left on left combinations and right on right combinations. So the opposing pitcher, Christy Mathewson, is a right-handed pitcher. So that means any right-handed batters that Baltimore sends up, the pitcher is now dominant, so if they were to get a hit or a walk or something, they would have to they would be required to take a second spin. So now the batter needs to spin again, and since Lee May is a right-handed batter with a right-handed pitcher, there's the pitcher dominance. So let's just watch and see how this goes. So single, because it's right on right combination, Lee May needs to spin again. And again, this is just for this one inning. Oh. And Lee May hits a home run. So on his second spin, on his penalty spin, he gets a home run. So not a bad deal for Baltimore. And that's Lee May's 4th home run, first of this tournament, because this is the first game for Baltimore. So Boog Powell, now Boog is a left-handed batter, so there's no penalty here, because it's a right-handed pitcher and a left-handed batter. So Boog Powell. Now Boog has been really not doing well. He's batting only 100 through the first 2 seasons, 5 for 50, so now he's even below 100. But I got him in the lineup today playing left field, which is a normal position for him. Elrod Hendricks, he's a left-handed batter, so there's no penalty against him. So he gets a single. So there's 1 out. Ellie Hendricks on first base with 1 out. Davey Johnson's batter. I'm sure Davey was a right-handed batter. He was. Yes, so there's a penalty here, right on right. So if he gets something good, he'll have to spin again. Ground ball. So runner on first, ground ball. There's one out. In. So ground ball in. Out at the batter is out at first, but the runner advances to second base. So Hendricks over to second. Johnson is out. That brings up Mark Belanger. And Mark is a right-handed batter. So 2 outs. Fly ball. And he's out for the 3rd out. But Baltimore was able to tie the score. So at the end of the 2nd inning, San Francisco won, Baltimore won. So now we are in the top of the 3rd inning. Allen Air flied out in the 1st. It's a double. He goes to second base. And Allen Air is a slow runner. I've divided the players. I did a lot of computations and divided my players up into fast, medium, and slow. I have 192 players, so I picked 1/3 fast, 1/3 medium speed, and 1/3 slow. And Lanier fell into the slow category. He doesn't steal a lot of bases, hits into a lot of double plays, doesn't hit many extra base hits. So I say all that to say that he's not a stealing threat. I'm not even going to try to have him steal. So Bill Terry, he hit a triple in the 1st inning. Fly ball. N. Fly ball N means he's out and the runner does not advance. So Willie Mays, 1 out, runner on second. Tie score, top of the 3rd. Oh, strikeout again. He struck out in the 1st, and now he struck out in the 3rd. He's swinging for the fence. So now Willie McCovey playing left field. He had a single with an RBI in the 1st inning. And there's a fly ball. He's out and the inning is over. So okay, that brings up Baltimore in the bottom of the 3rd. First batter is the pitcher, Dave McNally. And Dave hitting 107, no home runs and 2 RBIs. Struck him out. Don Buford playing 3rd base today. 3. All right. Let's see what the 3 gives us this time. 3s are relatively uncommon, maybe 1 a game or so, but we've had 2 already. So there's a 1 and a 3. So according to my sheet, a 1 and 3 means a fast and medium runner steal, but there's nobody on base. The batter flies out, and the next batter, he strikes out if it's left on left or right on right. So the batter, Don Buford, flies out. Paul Blair is the next batter, and because it's right on right, right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, that's the strikeout that I was talking about for the next batter. So sorry, Paul, but that's an automatic strikeout for you, and the inning is over. So at the end of 3, San Francisco 1, Baltimore 1. So, top of the 4th. Craig Devils. Fly ball. And Dick Dietz, 0 for 1 today. Hit a fly ball to lead off the second inning. 2 is a ground ball. Now, Orlando Cepeda playing right field. Nobody on and 2 outs. Ground ball. Here we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up come the Orioles. Leading off, Russ Snyder. 0 for 1. He had a ground ball to end the first inning. There's a fly ball. He's out. Brings up Lee May. Lee May hit a home run to lead off the second inning. And there's a penalty spin too, as I recall. So he gets walked. Again, I'm not sure how close these look on the camera, but I can see very clearly from my angle. So there's a strikeout for Boog Powell. Second time he struck out today. Still have a runner on first. Oops, sorry, I forgot to put Lee May out there. Okay, 2 outs, runner on first. Ellie Hendricks. Ground ball. Oop, what is that? That is an error. That K means error. So, runner advances 1 base. Hendricks is on first. Still there's 2 outs. And it brings up Davy Johnson. Walks. All right, so now the bases are loaded. Baltimore has loaded the bases. And up is Mark Belanger. Not exactly a power hitter, but he's done pretty good. Mark hitting .321 over the first two tournaments. So we have bases loaded with 2 outs. And that is a single. Well, let's see. That is too close to call. I think that's on the line, so I'm going to break the tie with the roll of a dice. 6, so that's a higher number. 7, so that's a single. So Mark Belanger, it's a single. Defensive spin. What is that? That 2 is too close to call. So I'm going to break the tie with the roll of the dice. 1, so it's the lower of the 2 MN. So that is a M. So a single with an M. It's going to advance 1 base, right? So M, single. Runner is, the batter is safe at first, and the runners all advance 1. So that brings Lee May in to score. Mark Belanger gets the RBI, so Lee May scores. Hendricks to third, Johnson to second, Belanger to first, and up comes pitcher Dave McNally. So Dave hitting right around 100 or so. So he struck out in the 3rd inning. Yeah, let's see what happens here. He struck out in the 4th inning, so that ends the inning. Out number 3. So, Belanger, Johnson, Hendricks. Okay. So, at the end of the 4th inning, Baltimore 2, San Francisco 1. Right. Here we go, leading off in the 5th, Jim Davenport. hit a single in the second inning. 1 for 1 today. Fly ball. Brings up pitcher Christy Mathewson. 0 for 1. Grounded out in the second. It's a single. So Mathewson on first. Brings up Hallinair. 1 for 2 with a double in the third inning. 14 is a fly ball. And an N on a fly ball does not advance the runner. Brings up Bill Terry. So 2 outs and a runner on first. So the Giants have 3 very good first basemen. Okay, single. And so Bill Terry, Willie McCovey, and Orlando Cepeda all are first basemen. But I can play McCovey in the outfield, left. And I can also play Cepeda in left, but I can't have them both in left, so that's why I have Cepeda in right, which is unfortunate for him because it's out of position. So anyway, so spins, single, so L, that means advance 1 base. So we have Terry on first and Mathewson on second. There are 2 outs. And Willie Mays, a 400 hitter coming into this game, but he's struck out twice so far. And that is a single. That is a single with runners on first and second is an N. So that will bring Mathewson around to score. That's 2 bases, so Mathewson scores. And let's see. So Bill Terry goes to third, and Willie Mays is on with a single. So runners on first and third. 2 outs, and the batter is Willie McCovey. So let me break this down. Mathewson scored the run. Mays with the RBI. Okay, Willie McCovey. That looks like it's on the line to me. So break the tie. 1, so it's lower number 9. A walk for McCovey. And now the Giants have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And the score is tied. Greg Nettles, the batter. That's a Greg, not a Craig, by the way. Let's see. Single. Oh, single. Oh, man, a lot of them. Too close to call. Let's roll the dice on that, too. 5. It's the higher of the 2 N, which is advanced 2 bases. So Nettles hits a single. Advanced 2 bases. It means Terry comes in to score. That means Mays comes in to score. Nettles gets 2 RBIs. So Terry is in. Mays is in. McCovey goes to third. Nettles goes to first. Brings up Dick Dietz, the Giants' home run leader. So 2 on, 2 outs. And the Giants are up by 2. So fly ball. That is out number 3. All right. So that was a productive inning for the Giants. So let's see. There. All right. 2 runs for the Giants. So after 4.5 innings, it's and that should be 3 runs they scored that inning. Let me check. Mathewson, Terry, and Mays all scored. Yep. So 4-2. San Francisco up 4-2. So up comes Baltimore in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off, Don Buford. Ground ball. Next, Paul Blair, 0 for 2 today. Flied out in the first, struck out in the third. And that may be shading a 14, but I think it's too close to call. 4-14 fly ball. Okay. 2 outs brings up Russ Snyder. 0 for 2 so far today. Strikes out. All right. So the Giants with a 2-run lead going into top of the 6th. So leading off top of the 6th, Orlando Cepeda. Again playing out of position, so he'll need a penalty spin if he gets something good. So a double, so he has to spin again. He gets a home run. That's twice. That happened to Lee May too on a penalty spin. He got a home run 2 times in one game. So Cepeda, home run, solo home run, 1 RBI. Gives the Giants a 5-2 lead. Jim Davenport, ground ball. So there's the first out. Christy Matheson, 1 for 2 today. He's grounded out in the 2nd, and he hit a single in the 5th and scored a run. Let's pull up my little helper here. That's a ground ball. So that's out number 2. Brings up Hal Lanier. 1 hit and 3 times up. He had a double in the 3rd inning. Fly ball. Out number 3. So the 6th inning, no runs. Sorry, 6th inning, 1 run. Sorry for the sloppy scorekeeping, but San Francisco 5, Baltimore 2. Going to the bottom of the 6th. Okay, so leading off for the Orioles. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Lee May homered in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. Walked again to lead off the 6th. The Boog Powell, he has struck out twice so far today. Single, Boog Powell with a single. L, advance 1 base. So we have Lee May in 2nd, Boog Powell in 1st. Batter is Ellie Hendricks. 2 on, nobody out. Strikeout. Brings up Davey Johnson. Strikes out. Now there's 2 outs. Mark Belanger. Single. That's his 2nd hit for today. Single, it looks like an N, so that's advanced 2 bases. So that will bring Lee May in to score. He's scored all 3 of the Orioles' runs. And an RBI for Belanger. That moves Powell to 3rd. Belanger is on 1st. There are 2 outs. Batter is Dave McNally. So let me think for a second here. This would normally be a pinch hitting scenario, but we really don't have a lot of bench depth with these. On the bench, this is who I have: Brooks Robinson, Jim Palmer, and Milt Pappas. So I'm going to let Dave McNally bat for himself and not have a hitter because I don't want to waste a pitcher. So anyway, some may question that decision, but that's what I'm going to do. Dave McNally strikes out. So the Orioles get one more run. So the score is San Francisco Giants 5, Baltimore Orioles 3 at the end of 6 innings. So, Let's see. So that brings up, leading off in the 7th inning. Let's see, the Giants are 5-3, so 3-run lead. So I have a mercy rule in this league. So after, if you're up by 4 runs after 7, that's the game is over. So the Giants are up by 3, and it's the top of the 7th. So if they get one more run, it's possible that they can win by the mercy rule. So a single by Bill Terry. It's his 3rd hit of the day. So Bill Terry on first base. Brings up Willie Mays. 1 hit and 3 times up so far. Hits a single. And that moves Terry to 3rd. Willie Mays on first. Batter Willie McCovey. Strikes out. Okay. Now the batter Craig Nettles. 1 out. Runners on first and 3rd. Fly ball. Could be a sacrifice. Fly. Oh, fly ball. Oh, we have runners on first and 3rd. So the batter is out, and the runner on 3rd is out attempting to score, and the others hold bases. So what that means is Nettles flies out for out number 1, and Bill Terry tried to score as though it was a sacrifice fly, but he got nailed at the plate. So Bill Terry is out at home. And that's the 3rd out. So 1, 2, 3. So the inning is over. So So the Giants do not score in the top of the 7th. It's still 5-3. 5-3. Yeah. So the Orioles coming up now, top of the 7th. Leadoff man, Don Buford. They need some runs. So, ground ball. He's 0 for 4, Don is. And Paul Blair, who's 0 for 3 today so far. It's a home run. Let's see here. Paul Blair, he had 2 home runs so far in the first 2 seasons. That's his first one this season. So Paul Blair, solo home run. That makes the score 5-4. 1-run game. 4. Russ Snyder hits a single. This is a stealing situation, base stealing, and so Russ Snyder is one of the fast runners, and so I've modified the stealing rules just a little bit. So for fast runners, for all runners, I've incorporated a roll of a dice. So for fast runners, if he gets a 5 or a 6, that's an automatic steal. We don't have to worry about spinning the other disc. And if it's a 2, it's out stealing. If he gets a 1, that means he changed his mind and he didn't steal. So anyway, there's one out, runner on first. Roll the dice, two. Too bad. Russ Snyder is out stealing. So caught stealing for the second out. So he tried, but didn't do it. So now 2 outs, nobody on. Lee May the batter. Lee is hit a home run and has walked twice, and then just grounded out for the third out. So here's what we have. We have San Francisco 5, Baltimore 4. It's a 1-run game. So now the mercy rule also goes for if you're ahead by 2 after 8 innings, the game is over. So the Giants are up by 1. If they can score another run in the 8th and then hold the Orioles to no runs, then the game will end after 8. So that's just a little modification I've made. It kind of makes the games go a little faster, and you don't need to play all 9 if the score is really lopsided. So a walk. Dick Dietz leads off with a walk in the 8th inning. Orlando Cepeda is 1 for 3. Hit a home run on a penalty spin, no less. Fly ball. The runner does not advance. Oops, sorry, Dick is out there at second base. Jim Davenport with a runner on first and 1 out. He walks. Moves Dietz to second. Davenport to first. Runners on first and second. Christy Mathewson is the batter. So I am going to have the pitcher bunt. So this is a strategy play. It'll be a sacrifice bunt if it's successful, and then the runners would advance. So let's see what happens here. So it is a J. So let's see what a J is. So we've just hit a sacrifice with runners on first and second, and he got a J. So that means he missed. He tried to bunt and he missed it. And the catcher threw it down to second to get the guy who was already running. So got a pick off at second, and the batter is still up. So that goes into the book. I'm just going to put picked off second, and it's going to be from the we'll say catcher to the shortstop. So we're going to score that 2-6. So, and the batter is still up. So Dick Dietz is not there. He stayed at first. Davenport is up. I'm sorry. Mathewson is up. 2 outs and a runner on first. Fly ball. He is out. Out number 3. So the Giants do not score in the 8th. And it's still a 1-run game. So and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Leading off, Boog Powell, 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. What is that? That is 2. That is a ground ball. He is out. Ellie Hendricks, the batter. He is 1 for 3, single and a strikeout, and a ground ball. Fly ball. Actually, he was safe on an error, but no ground ball. 2 outs. Davey Johnson, 3 times up. He has walked, struck out, and ground out. Grounded out again. Out number 3. Oh. Baltimore is 3 up, 3 down. In the 8th, it's a 1-run game, 5-4. So we go to the 9th. Top of the order for San Francisco. Hal Lanier, 1 for 4. We got a double in the 3rd inning. Struck him out. Bill Terry, 3 for 4, 2 singles and a triple. Another single. He's having a good game, 4 for 5. One out, so Terry's a fast runner. The steal situation, so roll of dice 6, that's a steal, automatic steal. Sorry, he was on first, he's now on second. So he stole second base. Runner on second, 1 out. Willie Mays, 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 strikeouts. It's a fly ball. And the runner does not advance. 2 outs. Runner on second. Batter is Willie McCovey. 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Almost. Fly ball. And he's out number 3. And that ends the top of the 9th. So here we go to the bottom of the 9th. Score: San Francisco 5, Baltimore 4, 5 to 4. And leading off for Baltimore, Mark Belanger. Ground ball. He is out. So next up is the pitcher, but we're going to have Brooks Robinson bat for Dave McNally. So Brooks hitting .307 with 2 homers and 14 RBIs over the first 2 seasons. Ground ball. 2 outs. It's all up to Don Buford. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. You're down by 1. Yeah, Buford is 0 for 4 today. Make that 0 for 5. He is out. So, all right, so that's the end of the game.